afternoon. My name is Jean-Marc Gadoury. I am a member of the Richmond area NTRAC, part of the RF&P model railroaders, and I'm coming with you Facebook Live from the Broad Street station known as the Science Museum of Virginia. And I'm going to give you a tour today of the model railroad layout. This is the Friday after Thanksgiving if you're seeing this as a recording. And I'm going to pan around and show you the building that we're currently in. That is a historic photo of the Broad Street station on Broad Street in Richmond, Virginia. And we are currently in the first floor of that end of the building. And I'm going to pan around so you can see this fantastic room that we're in. The old skylights. If you look in the far corner, there's actually a picture of the restaurant of the working station. That's where we currently are. And as you can see, there's a lot of folks that have joined us from the Richmond area for a model railroad show. We're going to be here all weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I'm currently bringing this from the Richmond area NTRAC, which is an N-scale club, special interest group of the RF&P model railroaders. And you can see that in this particular group, we're modeling N-scale trains. That's 1 to 160 of the actual size. If you're interested in getting some more information about the Richmond area NTRAC, I encourage you to go to our Facebook page. You can follow Richmond area NTRAC at facebook.com/RANTRAC. That's RANTRAK. And you will see our live videos, our photo streams, events, news, and all the information you ever wanted to know about N-scale railroading. We did do another Facebook Live event earlier this morning, and what I'm going to do now is going to go out into the main rotunda and give you an overview of the trains that are exhibited at the museum today. So right now we're in the RF&P Forum Room, which is in the Broad Street Station, I guess it's the west wing of the Broad Street Station. And we're going to run out here into the main rotunda and give you an overview. So if you were a passenger of this station, this is the view you would have had coming out of the restaurant on your way to the main concourse. And across the hall, the Thalheimer Discovery Room, there's another room for basically a waiting area if you were to come by. And you can see we have all kinds of layouts here this afternoon. We have N-scale, which we just came from, Z-scale, which is 1/2 the size of N-scale. You can see how tiny these tracks really are. But what a wonderful job of scenicking and creating really the dominance of the scenery over the rails. That's one of the beauties of the smaller scales like N-scale and Z-scale. This is truly a layout that you could put into your briefcase. Obviously, this is a much bigger version of it. But definitely something worthwhile to come and see down here at the Broad Street Station. Now, if you're more of a fan of the larger scale, there we have the 3-rail, also known as O-gauge, or garden scale, G-gauge. This is not my particular area of expertise, but it is fascinating. The kids love it. Lots of action, lots of trains that are moving fast. All right, now as I pan up, you can actually see the large windows, the grand entrance to the Broad Street Station. And you can see the columns, the column work. It's really a beautiful museum. In the very center, they have a large pendulum that actually tracks the time. And I'm going to go over to there. You can see that there's actually a train running around the pendulum. We're expecting to probably see 2,000 to 3,000 guests this weekend. Most of these folks are from the Richmond area. A lot of holiday travelers here for Thanksgiving and are enjoying some of this. This is the 39th annual train show at this location. Here's a terrific layout done in HO scale. I guess it's HO gauge track, and it's 1 to 87 scale. I'll give you a tour of the other end of the museum. We'll stop off to see the River City Free Railers. You can see the, looks like the NHL train is heading by. Boy, that really is fast.
You get the right conditions.
Museum staff did a wonderful job decorating, as always. Big Christmas tree sitting at the end of the main entrance to the concourse. Let's walk over here and check out some more trains. All right, let's check out the Thalheimer Discovery Room. Here we see the VP&C, Piedmont Railroaders. I think we're going to get a rare opportunity to see a snowplow. Really well done railroad. You can see they have quite a few of their members dressed in red today, answering the public's questions. We'll head back out into the main rotunda. As I mentioned, we might see several thousand people here in the course of this weekend. We'll walk back around toward the main entrance. If you decide you want to get a bite to eat, they also have the restaurant called the Periodic Table. A little something for everybody in there. All right. Oh, say hello to Isaac. Isaac, give us a wave there. Now, Isaac was telling me today. Now, I started as a model railroader in 1996. And Isaac told me that he started here with the museum in 1996.
Back then, yeah.
So we've literally been here as the same amount of time.
Yeah, I remember when you all had the room upstairs, 4 West.
That's right.
Yeah.
Upstairs. So it was the RF&P model railroaders. We met in this museum over in that RF&P room that we were just in a moment ago.
Yeah.
And we had the clubhouse space. The layouts were set up on the 4th floor.
Yep.
Right?
That's right.
And then we would bring them down here every single year. In November, it used to be 2 weekends. You remember that?
2 weekends.
Used to be the first and second weekend in November.
Oh, okay. I forgot all about that.
That's right. And then the museum had a redesign. They refurbished everything.
Yeah.
And when that finished, they determined that the traffic, we had much better traffic when we were running on Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah.
And in fact, the museum also merged with the Virginia Aviation Museum.
Yeah.
And a show that was being run there, they combined those two and brought it back here on Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah.
But it was really, we had huge crowds because everybody had cabin fever. Everyone had eaten way too much turkey for Thanksgiving. They said, hey, let's go to the train show. And it's been a fantastic tradition ever since.
Yeah, I'm going to eat some more when I get off at 6
Are
o'clock.
you?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to pan around here so folks can see the back. So we're actually, Isaac, we're doing a Facebook Live.
Oh,
so this is live video on our Facebook feed with Richmond Area N-Track.
Oh, yeah?
And so folks have been getting a little tour of all the layouts today. And then we're also showing them a lot of the the HO and the N scale that's running here too.
Good, very good.
So what would you think about the crowds here today? I'm estimating 2,000 to 3,000 people for the weekend. What would you say?
I believe so. Just today, within 2 hours, I was told, maybe less than 3 hours, I was told it was over 1,000 people.
Over 1,000 within a few hours?
Within 2 to 3 hours, I was told by one of the other museum employees. Yes.
Well, they would know because they're checking the tickets as they come in, right?
Yes, sir. And it probably it could be over 2,000 or going on 3,000 by now.
So I would guess my numbers are very low for the weekend. Probably more like 10,000 perhaps by the time all said and done.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, yeah.
That's good. Well, you know what that means? That makes this one of Richmond's hottest attractions during Thanksgiving weekend.
And I'm just glad to be a part of it.
That's awesome. Isaac, thanks so much for keeping our eye on things here.
Always.
And we will see you around the show.
Yes, sir.
All right, take care.
You too. Thank you.
Yep. So there's also a science shop back there in the corner. If some folks want to come home with souvenirs, we can take care of that for you too. I want to give you another opportunity to see and do a walk around on the N scale layout and answer some questions for you. We can't go anywhere without seeing Thomas the Tank. That's an important annual part of the exhibit. Okay, back into the RF&P Railroad Company Forum. And we are live coming from the Science Museum of Virginia. I'm going to pan around here and see we've got a really big crowd came in today. Probably going to see them here on Saturday and Sunday. And if you recognize that building, that's the Science Museum of Virginia. Get on down here for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the Great Train Show at the Virginia Science Museum. So I'm running an N-scale locomotive. We'll get down here into the tunnel and see that train running by. And we're just going to be answering questions and demonstrating how we run a train on a fairly prototypical style layout. N scale is 1 to 160 of actual scale. For most folks, that means that if you saw a real train and you reduced it by 160 times, this would be the size of the railroad and the train that you would see. Richmond area N-Track has been around since the early 1980s and was part of a club that was housed right here in the Science Museum until about 2001. Clubhouse is now located in Ashland, Virginia at the Ashland Hanover Shopping Center. If you're interested in more information about Richmond area N-Track, you can go visit our Facebook page. Follow and like us at Richmond area N-Track, facebook.com/Rantrack.
There's another one. There's two.
Yeah, they make that for HO.
Look, there's two.
Yeah, it's a whole lot easier.
I'm going to follow this train around the layout.
I'm looking and looking.
Yeah, same thing.
We have about 60 scale miles of track on this particular layout today. I'm going to try to zoom in so we can get a kid's eye view. It really is amazing at eye level the realism of these trains. I think that's personally why so many kids love what we do. All right, I'm going to show you our town of Overlook. This is our Overlook Junction module. You'll notice that the tracks actually diverge and go in 3 different directions from this layout. This gives us a lot of versatility to run in multiple directions. Multiple directional running is a capability of digital command control. Every single one of our locomotives has a computer chip. The computer chip is driven by a central computer, and simply by the touch of a button on a throttle, we can control every locomotive on the layout at any given moment. All right, that train's coming back to us. You mentioned my name is Jean-Marc Gadoury. I'm in the RF&P forum room of the Science Museum of Virginia. And we're, like I said, the Richmond area N-Track component of the RF&P model railroaders. Our club's been in existence for about 35 years. This is the 39th running of the train show here at the Science Museum of Virginia. Zoom back around, check out this train running by us. Just like a railroad, if an engine does not have its engineer, the likelihood of an accident increases proportionally. So give me a moment here. I'm actually going to chase the train around to the other side. All right, so once again, we're running a Facebook Live event sponsored by Richmond Area N-Track. Go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Rantrack. And we are demonstrating N-scale model railroading here in the Science Museum of Virginia. N-Track is a standard for N-scale modules. Modules are the individual dioramas or scenes that you're seeing in front of you. And each member of our club has a hand in creating these dioramas. We plug all of these modules together. They're usually between 4 foot to 6 foot, some cases 8 feet long. And each module is connected at pretty much mutual points along the path. So it's very easy for somebody to build a component of this layout in their basement and then bring it to a large show where they can connect it with other members. One of the neat things about N-scale is the fact that the train itself is ordinarily dominated by the scenery surrounding it, very much prototypical, like you would see a train in real life. Makes for some fantastic photographs, and I think even better videos. Should see our train emerging here in just a moment. Here it comes. So one of the keys to N-scale is trying to keep our trains running at a prototypical speed. If you look at this video, that train appears to be running very fast, but you wouldn't believe how many folks have told me, why is the train running so slow today? It has everything to do with proportion and scale. Right now our train is stopped as we detect some of the electrical components around the layout. Again, we've returned to our Y junction module. And the train is going to head in a generally southerly direction. One of the neat things about running at the Science Museum of Virginia is that it was the functioning station for the RF&P and I believe the C&O Railroad at one time. And so you can see in the large pictures and murals on the wall that this was a functioning train station. And we're in what used to be the restaurant of that station just off the main rotunda. So I'm going to go ahead and chase this train up this direction of the layout. And in just a few minutes, we will end our Facebook Live session and come back for our afternoon session where we'll show you some of the clinics, how we actually build some of the scenery, how we construct our bridges, and how we weather our trucks, our trains, and our rolling stock for even better, more realism. The way to find out information about us is to go to facebook.com/Rantrack. Rantrack. So as you can see, we're now back to the beginning where we started our video. I'm going to show you the tunnel that's underneath the layout. And we should see a train. Here it is, right in front of us, coming our way. Everybody's waiting with eager anticipation for the train to actually emerge. I'm going to actually increase the throttle speed in order to make it go faster and emerge from the tunnel and keep everybody happy. Here it is. Here comes kids. And we have a train emerging. So today we're pretty much in a mainline running mode. We're trying to keep the trains running in straight lines as much as possible. But when we do go into an operating session, you'll see that the operators, club members of the Richmond Area N-Track, we're throwing a lot of the switch and turnout controls in order to move specific consists on the sidings and to move, basically to move the merchandise around the railroad. Typically do that at times when we aren't as busy and we don't have such an urgency to keep the main lines moving. We are the day after Thanksgiving, so enjoying all the festivities here at the Broad Street Station. All right. Hey, Tom, give a wave to the camera here.
Remember Heinz?
Heinz Egger. Oh my gosh, look at that. Get him on camera there. We'll go over and talk to Heinz here in a moment. Club member introducing me to one of our former members who had a lot to do with building, in fact, helping us build a replica of this Broad Street station about 10, 15 years ago. Right here at Sand Hill Station. We were just telling the story about the building of the replica of this station about 10, 15 years ago, and you had a lot to do with it. Mind if I get your video here? I'm going to introduce this as Heinz Egger, former member of the Richmond area N-Track. I hear him asking, how do you get back in? I think that's the greatest question you could ask. That's right. Twist the arm real hard. That's Dave Beasley with us. Well, if you've been joining us here on this Facebook Live event, we appreciate your audience. If you joined us after the fact and are watching this tape, I hope you'll enjoy what you see. We're trying to answer as many questions as we can about N-Track, N-Scale, model railroading. And again, if you want more information about us, you can go to facebook.com/Rantrak, R-A-N-T-R-A-K. And if you'd like some information about our clubhouse, our upcoming events, if you'd like to see photos and other videos, that is the best place to go. So once again, thanks for joining us. We'll do another session later this afternoon. And one of the things that our club likes to do every year is to perform some clinics. Folks not only want to see the trains, but they love to see how we actually build and weather the rolling stock and the engines. Stan, do you mind telling us what you're doing?
I'm weathering trains.
Weathering trains.
Make them look realistic.
So you mean a train doesn't automatically come out of the box looking like it's had some hard work?
Like it's real? No, because real trains are out in the weather 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in 30 or 50 below weather or 110 below or above weather.
So you're taking a perfectly good engine out of the box.
And making it even more perfect.
And you're making it even more perfect by what some people would say is making it dirty.
There's the done one done.
Oh, yeah.
I should have left one clean so I can compare it.
Absolutely. Well, you can see all the, it's no longer shiny. It actually looks like it's got dust and soot, maybe a little bit of sand.
Smoke coming in and you get sand and dust.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to clean them up. I'll finish this one up and I'll compare them in a little bit.
All righty.
I got a clean one in the box.
Now, Jim, you're working on box cars over there. Tell us what you're doing.
Oh, just playing around.
Something amazing.
Just playing around. Doing the same thing.
Something great. Something amazing.
What do you think he's doing? What's he up to?
Causing trouble.
Painting.
He's painting the cars. It kind of looks like he's making them look older. Is that what it seems like to you?
Well, let's see. This is weathered car. This is one that's unweathered, so you can tell it looks like it's brand new.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. What a difference.
It just
So bright and
shine off of it.
bright and shiny, and then more realistic, like what you might see going down the road today.
Well, of course, you want to keep 3 or 4 that are shiny, but you see some brand new cars going down the road.
Sure. How often do you think these cars get in for a car wash?
Never.
Never.
Never. As you know, they used to wash passenger trains.
Right.
Back when they had passenger trains, I doubt if Amtrak does too much anymore.
Yep.
When you
So,
had separate railroads owning their own passenger trains, they would clean them and make sure that this is
public relations and selling the railroad.
Right. So tell us what.
On the railroad.
So in order to weather a car, what colors are you using there?
I'm using earth color and grimy black.
Grimy black and earth color, and those are Floquil. Are those oil-based paints?
No, they're acrylics.
Acrylics. Okay.
Known as latex paint, basically. Water soluble. That's a water soluble.
And you're just mixing the two of those together on a sheet of paper. So the combination of those two is kind of what gives you that dirty look, right?
Yes, sir.
And so you're putting that on the trucks and on the whole thing.
Side.
Okay. Now that looks pretty heavy right now. I assume you're going to take some of that color off?
Some, but it looks heavy now, but once it dries, it won't look as bad.
Okay.
You'll barely be able to see this once it dries.
So would you use different colors based on where the train runs? For example, West Coast versus East Coast, would they look different?
The West Coast is going to have a lot lighter tan because of sand.
Lighter tan because of sand on the west, okay.
On the west. Northwest, around you have around all industrial plants, you have a lot darker colors, more dark greasy,
Okay.
more black. And of course, coal cars can be black. You know, I'm running out of paint.
Ah.
So I have to put a little more. Yeah, because the coal's black. Pardon? What do you think? Oh, no, I don't paint the cars. I'm just painting. About 10 minutes.
It takes about 10 minutes to finish a car? Okay.
So you have to paint more than one. You have to give it 10 minutes to dry. I will paint the top and the sides first so I can have someplace to touch.
You know, I'm
Never
thinking,
bother with painting the underside because nobody's going to see it.
as a kid, I used to like to play in the mud and the dirt and all that. My mom always said I'd get in trouble for doing that, but it looks like you're actually doing it for real and having fun.
That's what I do for a living, pal. Paint.
So if anybody likes to play in the dirt, this is the job for you. Is that right?
Long live mud pies.
That's pretty good. All right, now I see somebody else down here working on a bridge. Let's go take a look at this bridge. I think that's Mr. McBee I see over there. Is that right? Hey, Doug. How are you doing?
Well, as can be expected for an old man.
Well, as can be expected for an old man. Oh, don't knock yourself out too hard. You're sitting here. Looks like you're having a great time.
Oh, yeah, it's fun.
What are you working on?
Working on a trestle.
A trestle.
A trestle.
Would it be this trestle?
No, wouldn't it be more like this trestle?
This trestle. Okay. Oh, wow.
That trestle.
My goodness. That looks like that has a little bit of time involved in it.
This one probably 45 to 50 hours total.
Is that all?
Wow.
All right, so what's involved? You got to glue every single one of these joints?
Yep, every single one.
All right, so you just use regular Elmer's glue or you use something better?
I use Alien's Tacky Glue.
Ah, okay. Where can you get that?
Hobby store, Hobby Lobby has it. Michael's, AC Moore, any of those craft stores.
Okay. Now I'll be honest with you. When I drive around, I like to look at a lot of rail sites, but I don't see too many wooden bridges. So there aren't many left. So is this for like a specific era that you're modeling?
Late 40s, early 50s.
All right. So it's steam to diesel.
Yeah, steam diesel, Trestle.
Okay.
There is a trestle downtown here in Richmond.
Okay.
It goes from Hollywood Cemetery across the James River.
And it's still active today.
Active. They still use it for CSX coal trains.
So they have to use a lot of glue to carry those really heavy trains, I'm assuming, right?
Yep.
Okay. Where is this bridge going to end up when you're
I
done?
don't know that it'll end up anywhere. It's kind of just a bridge to do the demonstration.
Just for demos, okay. Well, that seems like that needs to find its way to a scenic display somewhere.
Well, we can maybe work something out.
Okay. Now, Doug, I think you're with the Richmond area N-Track, is that right?
Richmond area and
And you all are located in the Ashland Hanover Shopping Center up in Ashland?
that is correct.
Okay. So do you think this bridge might find its way onto a layout up there?
It may. That
Okay.
one already came off a layout up there.
This one right here?
It's going to be replaced by some of the stuff you see over here. Mm-hmm. But it is, that did come off of our layout up there. Just bring down here to show.
I'm noticing these look like templates. What do you?
Jigs.
A jig.
Yeah,
Tell us how you use a jig.
all right. First off, you need sticks.
Need sticks. Okay, so we start with sticks.
I'm just going to cut one stick here.
All right, so we start with one. Is that balsa wood?
Basswood.
Basswood. Okay. And you've got a pen knife there. I assume the sharper the knife, the better it is, right?
Yeah, that's not particularly sharp.
Okay. And I noticed that you're using a cutting board with a bunch of measured lines on it.
Yeah, so you don't have to use your ruler to check your stuff out.
Okay.
You know, cut it this way. And I'm cutting 4-inch length. Doesn't have to be 4, it could be 12, it could be 2, whatever size trestle you want.
Okay. So you pretty much measure the length of the span that you want to build on your layout,
Yeah, right.
and then you start
Measure the depth of the span.
measure the depth. Okay, and then you start cutting away.
The length, so you know how many to make.
Okay. Do you have any idea how many individual pieces you cut for that big bridge over here?
Not a clue.
If you had to guess, I mean, that looks like thousands of pieces, maybe.
Each bent has 6, 12, 17, 18, 20 pieces.
Okay.
Each bent.
Each one.
Of these
Yeah, 20
has
pieces.
20 pieces.
And there's probably at least 20 to 25 of them as
I
I'm
think
looking
there's
down there.
22 on that long bridge.
Wow, that's a lot of cuts.
And then you have 2, 4, 6, 12, 24 pieces to tie each bent
Okay.
to the next bent.
Wow, so that's a lot of pieces.
A lot of pieces parts.
And probably a lot of planning to make sure that you don't waste pieces, right? No? Just do it, huh?
Build
Okay.
it as you go along.
Yep. All right, so back to the template. You've been cutting some pieces for us, and then you're going to show us how we use the template. I'm going to scooch a little closer here.
You use a lot of templates, I think.
Yep. First thing you do is put in your top cap.
Okay, so you've got a piece pre-cut.
It's just a little long, so
Okay.
we'll sand it off a little bit.
So that's neat. So that takes all the guesswork out of it. You just find a piece that absolutely fits the template.
Exactly.
And do you put the glue in first or the glue in later?
What I do is put the glue on a Post-it note.
Oh, okay. That's a great use for Post-its. I never thought of that.
The piece I want to put in,
You file down the end of it. Does that help you get a perfect fit?
it does, yes. And you want it to fit fairly snugly
Yep.
on both sides.
Okay. So a snug fit's very important.
Seems to do okay. So
All right, so we're going to add a little glue to the end.
glue to the end,
Okay.
stick it in here.
Do you think that little bit of glue will be enough?
Oh yeah, it's plenty. Because when you look at a bent,
Yep.
when you look at a bent like this,
Okay.
you see you got glue all the way up here along the top cap.
Yeah, I can see that.
Each bent leg has glue.
Okay.
This cross brace has glue. Mm-hmm. This cross brace has glue.
Yep.
All of these have glue. So the little bit up here is enough.
Right, and that's kind of the magic of these wooden trestle bridges is that there are so many joints. It
Right.
displaces the weight of the train as it goes across, right?
It's extremely strong, just like the old one.
Yep.
It's extremely. I mean, you can break it. I could.
Sure.
break it if I wanted to. but
Yep.
For what we're using,
And if you didn't have the ability to create a bunch of heavy steel like the current modern bridges,
Right.
that's how you would build a bridge. Okay.
this is how they were built in old days.
I would guess that required a lot more manpower.
You would think.
Like hundreds of people, right? To build a bridge in the old days?
Yep.
Manpower was the cheapest thing they had.
You said manpower was the cheapest thing they had?
They had
Yeah. Everybody
machinery,
that's true.
so that's why they used it.
All right. So
No, well, they're not.
So this is neat. So we're actually watching you build one of these cross pieces.
One of these bents.
Bents. Yeah, is that B-E-N-T?
B-E-N-T. just
Okay.
Like bent.
All right. Why was it called a bent?
I
You know?
have no
All
idea.
right. Is this pretty much the same process for any kind of a wood kit? Like if you were building a ship or
Right.
something like that?
You got, you got. This is one for a truss bridge like this,
Yep.
and this is for a deck bridge, which is this bridge,
Okay.
and then you have a arch bridge,
Yep.
which looks like this. That's too big. I mean, that's HO scale.
Right. So where can you get these jig? Where can you get a jig?
Black Bear scale models.
Black Bear scale models. Okay.
They're out of
And
Iowa.
looks like you can just go to blackbearcc.com
Right.
and you can build you your own bridge.
Yep.
That's pretty neat. Mount Albert strip wood accessories, trestles and bridge
If
jigs.
you order something from them, you'll order the jig, this,
Oh, okay.
and this is for a deck bridge, which is this one, and it'll have all the stuff you need in there for the deck bridge.
Oh, I see. So it's a complete kit.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And once you have the jig, all you have to do is order the materials back
Okay.
for as many bridges as you want.
You are the bridge man, Doug.
I'm not. This is what my son
Well, I don't know about that.
He made a mess. So I'm using
I do like building them.
How long have you been model railroading?
Probably 40 years, 50 years.
Is that all? Only 40 or 50 years?
So I'm using what's there.
I think this girl right here has probably been modeling for at least 30 or 40 years, right? Have you been modeling that long? No? 40, 50 years, that's a long time, isn't it? I'm guessing, Doug, in 40 to 50 years, you've gained a lot of experience.
Oh, yeah, you would think.
You make the train tracks, he makes the trees.
Uh-huh.
How do you make the train?
Okay, I got one
One more to go.
bent leg. to
And
put in
then
here.
and then the bent will be done.
Nope.
And then it will not be done?
No.
Oh.
You see all these cross braces that have to go in there?
Oh my goodness.
So how do you glue it together?
And lots of glue. Now, do you ever paint the bridge while you're going, or
No.
what's involved?
What I do is stain my sticks ahead of time,
Yep,
simply because if you try and stain afterward,
yep.
your white glue will not stain, and you'll have holes in it.
Okay. Now, you would stain it, that kind of preserves it, protects
A
it,
little bit, just kind of color it.
gives it better color? Okay, good.
And you could paint them if you want. It doesn't
Yep.
make any difference. If you're going to paint it, you don't have to paint it first.
Okay,
But if you want to paint it and you want to paint that, it's
Yep.
a little more difficult to do it here
Right.
than it is just to paint a stick.
okay. So paint the sticks and then put the sticks together.
Right.
And make sure you don't get any stain where you're going to have your glue joints.
Yeah, well, that doesn't make it. Stain on glue joints doesn't make
Yeah.
a difference. It's glue that you try to stain.
Yep. Okay.
Now we're going to start putting in the cross braces, the horizontal braces. Put a little glue on each bent leg. Grab me a cross brace. Put it in place. The jig takes all the guesswork out of where to put these.
Mm-hmm.
Next.
Looks like you've got some really good tools to work with fine
You need a
material.
pair of tweezers, you need some sort of a cutting device, and you
Yeah.
need some sort of glue applicator.
Uh-huh. It's like a needle. Is that a needle?
It's a syringe. Yeah.
Okay. So you actually draw the glue into it and then apply it. You just use it to tip the glue.
Pick the glue.
Okay.
It's a little bit smaller than a toothpick.
So how long will it take to dry before you can actually use this as part of a bridge?
20 minutes after you're done.
20 minutes?
Yeah, this is quick dry, tacky
Yep.
glue,
Yep.
and it doesn't take any time at all to dry.
Okay.
What time you doing that? 3 months? Get
Doug, we're doing a Facebook Live today. We gave everyone a tour of the Rotunda and the different layouts that were out. And earlier this morning, we gave a tour of the N-scale layout here in this room. And we're just about ready to go back and do that. But before we go, is there anything else you think we should know about bridge building?
It's easy, but
Okay.
it is tedious.
Okay. So if you really like easy but tedious work and you love building bridges,
This is the thing to do.
this is the thing to do. Do you need to have 40 or 50 years of experience to do it? It looks like what you're showing us is really easy to do.
It is. Now I start putting in the diagonal braces.
I suspect you've got a lot more patience than most people, though. Takes a lot of patience, right?
Not that much.
No? Well, thanks for showing that to us, Doug.
Pleasure.
It's a really good clinic. Do you do this clinic at all the shows?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
All the shows here.
And do you have other buildings that you make too?
Oh yeah, a lot of them. There's a couple of them over on his town, whatever the
Is it
town.
Beasley Flats?
Yeah, whatever it is.
Okay.
There's a couple of my buildings.
All right. We'll go take a look at those. Thanks again, Doug.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. That's really cool.
Back anytime.
All right, we'll do. Showing you the Richmond area N-track banner. We're approaching some of those modules that have the buildings that Doug was just talking about. Now this is interesting. They've actually used, it's like extruded cotton to create cloud and smokestack effect. That's unique. You don't see that too often. And somebody is running a cold rag right past us. So if you want to see this live and in person, you need to come down to the Broad Street Station, now known as the Science Museum of Virginia. It's on Broad Street in Richmond, Virginia, and we're here from Friday from 9 o'clock until 5, be here Saturday and Sunday. But if you get here Sunday at 6, it's too late. So you got to get down here quick. If you want more information about the clubs that you're seeing, Richmond Area N-Track, you can just go to the sign. It's facebook.com/Rantrack. One of our club members, Steve Corlo. Steve, wave to the camera. Is that your coal train that you're running?
Yes,
All right. How many cars are you running today?
just 40.
Just 40? Is that it?
Yeah.
Can it run longer?
I've got over 100.
Over 100? What's the longest train you've ever run?
Probably 189.
189. How did you keep them all together without falling off?
Speaking of that, hold on a second.
Oh, I see. Well, that's a lot of weight. I mean, that's such a small train, and it's all coming down to those little couplers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just those little itty bitty couplers. Okay.
But because, it's free rolling wheels, there's not much resistance.
Okay. So very little friction, low resistance. Engines are pretty heavy. They can pull a fairly long load. Good.
Almost like real life.
Yeah, I'm noticing that you're kind of coming to the end of the line there. It's going around the curve. You're going to be able to pull all those cars around a tight radius like that? Are you sure?
I hope so.
You're hoping. Okay.
I hope.
All right. Well, good. We'll track around the other side and see how you do.
Okay.
Good to see you. It's like right in front of the lumber yard. Steve, congratulations. You made it all the way around. Good job. Thumbs up. There you go. So one of the great things about N scale, which is 1 to 160, is you have the ability in a fairly small space to allow the scenery to dominate the track. you notice you see these light towers, these electrical towers. Do this in a larger scale, and that's going to be an enormous structure. But in end scale, you can do is I'm just going to pull back a little bit. That's a 4-foot corner module section. And we've got electrical towers. We're showing elevation at 2 to 3 different levels, showing trees dominating the track. It just has a much more realistic look because you can have space and distance between the objects that you're modeling. And of course, it takes a really good eye as a modeler to make sure that your forced perspective, the buildings in the background are built a little smaller to give the appearance of distance. And then the structures in the front are maybe even a little bit artificially larger so that we can create that forced perspective. And then this module has a nice fascia on the front of it that cuts down, giving the appearance of the hills as if this module just continues. You can literally look right into it and become part of the scene. We just came from the weathering clinic, and you can see that these brick walls, these stone walls, have had some of the same techniques applied, where they're putting mixtures of colors and washes to really allow the appearance of age to pop. All right. Well, we've been recording now on this Facebook Live for almost 1 hour, and we've had a great time so far, but I can tell you this from firsthand experience, nothing beats being here in person. So get the family in the car, bring them on down to the Broad Street Station, Science Museum of Virginia. Come on in and enjoy all these layouts firsthand. And if you happen to miss us, you can always find us at facebook.com/RANTRAK. Richmond Area N-Track is a club located in Ashland, Virginia, with open houses the second Saturday of every month. Our club will also be on display at the Grand Illumination event up at Meadow Event Park. And you can find more information about that on our Facebook page. So thanks for joining us, and you all have a wonderful weekend. We will probably record again tomorrow on Saturday, sometime in the morning. Until then, see you.